How you make this, Jay?
Welcome back to the locker room. I'm Captain Paul, and that is Jay, and that is Fajardo. What's going on there, Fajardo?
Chillin'.
As again, we are sponsored by who, Fajardo?
Groovy J.
Groovy J. We will have his profile linked down below in the description. Definitely go check out his tracks. We want to appreciate him for sponsoring the channel. Let's get into a little bit of drama. Here. Nils Lundkvist. What do you know about him? Expand.
He's been an exciting prospect. We drafted him a couple of years ago. We love his gameplay. He's an offensive defenseman. He knows how to move the puck. He's just an exciting player. His situation, unfortunately, is that of any backup that is on the Rangers as a goalie. You have all these great players ahead of you at the moment, right? You have the likes of Adam Fox, Jacob Trouba, right? Lindgren may not be the best, but he's a really good heart and soul guy. You need him up there. You have Keandre Miller. You have Schneider, who solidified his position last season, even being called Baby Trubes. So it's one of those things where he's not going to be able to, unless something really bad happens, he's not going to
crack the roster.
The roster at all with the Rangers, just due to all the players ahead of him. And I think he's tired of waiting for his chance, and he just wants to get his chance somewhere.
So the HockeyWriters.com, appreciate the Hockey Writers. They kind of have a snippet of this because some stuff is behind a paywall, unfortunately. So Rangers Lundkvist wants trade. Young prospect defenseman Nils Lundkvist of the New York Rangers has reportedly asked for a trade from the Rangers, trying to trade frustrated Nils Lundkvist. Oh, so sorry, the article. They just referenced the article. It may not report to camp if one is not made. He is a right-handed defenseman who likes to join the rush and has excellent mobility. At 22 years old, he's played 25 games and scored 4 points for the Rangers last season. Drafted in the first round, 28th overall in the 2018 draft, he is an outstanding puck-moving defenseman who is predicted to play in the top four once he develops. With Adam Fox, new captain Jacob Trouba, and Brandon Schneider on the right side, there's little room for Lundkvist to crack the full lineup unless he switches to the left side, where he would be buried behind Keandre Miller and Ryan Lindgren. The Canadiens, because this is who's tied to him, the Canadiens need young, puck-moving, right-handed defensemen. Lundkvist fits the bill perfectly and can rotate the workload with another young defenseman, Justin Barron, who was acquired last trade deadline from the Colorado Avalanche. The Habs are heavy on the left side, especially with younger defensemen in Kay Goulet, Erber Exagier.
Don't even try, bro.
I'm not even trying because people are going to roast me in the comment sections. And Jordan Harris, that's an easy one. Not to mention veterans like Joel Edmondson and Mike Matheson, who is also signed until 24 to 25 season for under $1 million on his entry-level ELC, and will be a restricted free agent at the end of his current deal. This would give Montreal some control for the next several years if they were able to acquire him. That is that small snippet. Now, let's go into Nils. Let's go to his stats. If I go to Hockey Reference, it only shows his NHL stats. So let's go to EliteProspects.com and kind of go into it. He's a relatively still young defenseman. He's only 22 years old. On the shorter side, 5'10", 187 pounds though, so he's got a little bit of thickness to him. It looks like at a lot of levels he's been a pretty productive defenseman, right?
He's gonna be the kid's gonna be
in junior. In juniors, in Sweden Hockey Club, he was the captain there. 21 games played, 4 goals, 15 assists, 19 points. Under 26 games played, 3 goals, 11 assists for 14 points. Can't do math. And then he played in the SHL 2018-2019. He got called up. 41 games played, 3 goals, 7 assists, or 10 points. That's a pretty solid against men. That's a very good thing. And then in the next season, 2019-2020, a little bit more of a sample size, a few more games, he had kind of a breakout year. 45 games played, 11 goals, 20 assists for 31 points with a plus 30. Or is that no? I'm sorry. That's Pims. That's for plus 18.
Plus 18. Yeah.
And then the next season, he showed the same consistency. A few more games, 52 games played in the SHL, 14 goals, 18 assists, 32 points, with a -1. And then in the playoffs, he had 7 games played, 2 goals, 0 assists for 2 points and a -2. The one thing though, if you look, it seems like, especially in the last from 18-19 onward, you've seen a nice development in his game. But kind of like what they say about him being a puck mover, you can kind of see just on the statistics alone. You've obviously seen him a little bit up close.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I look at a guy like this, 2021 to 2022, right? He played only 25 games with the Rangers, 1 goal, 3 assists for 4 points. That's not bad. But look at Hartford. He had 34 games played, 3 goals, 12 assists for 15 points. -9 is concerning, but it seems like a guy he's played in these leagues, right? Like the SHL that's no slouch. A lot of former NHL players or people of NHL caliber do play in the SHL, and I feel like he's held his own. So what are your thoughts about this? Do you think he's jumping the gun here? Should he be more patient, or does he have a right to be frustrated? Like, I need to be moved.
I mean, it's a tough one, right? Because it outside of K'Andre Miller, right, and Schneider, you look at the other guys, they didn't get their shot until they were 24, 25-ish is kind of where the Rangers bring guys aboard, right? But you look at the guys they have, a K'Andre Miller, a Schneider, a Jacob Trouba. These guys aren't going anywhere for many years. So at this point, it's like, if I can't crack it now, and these guys keep playing at this elite level, right, am I going to get a shot? Do you really want to waste years waiting to see if you get a shot and then get traded off when you don't have a shot, or get picked up somewhere else when you don't, and you waste all these years?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair argument here. I mean, I'm not just kind of bringing up some footage here. 2019, 2020.
He's good. I watched him play, man. He's got skill with the puck. He knows how to move. He knows how to distribute the puck offensively. He is a smaller guy, but he knows how to use his body to take the puck away from bigger men. Yeah,
and I think you just got to be patient with guys like this, right? Like it's kind of unfortunate. I'm gonna actually kind of pause this here because I don't want to get any type of strike. But when it kind of comes down to it, is that I can understand his frustration. I don't think those guys above them, though, are long-term options. You know what I'm saying? Let's kind of go into the cap-friendly of it, kind of go into a little bit more detailed here for the Rangers, because I see a guy like this guy. I see this guy, right? Young prospect, good puck mover. That's what you need in the NHL these days, right? It's not necessarily big banging bodies. You need talent, right?
Yeah.
Going to cap-friendly. I apologize, it's taking me a second. Going to cap friendly here, right? They need a young defenseman, point blank, in my opinion, right? And you know what? Now I'm looking at it. I hate to say this, I thought Schneider was older than he was.
No, I told you.
The oldest guy on this core is 28. I don't know. This is.
Yeah, now you understand his situation. Yeah. Honestly, if I was him, I would move to the left side. I think his puck moving ability on the left side, because he's a right-handed shot on the left-hand side, being able to cut in would open up so many passing lanes for him that, and because of his offensive skills and vision, I think he'd only bloom in a much better situation there on the left side.
I mean, who do you get rid of though? Honestly, who's the guy you would get rid of?
Hayek all day. Sorry.
Okay.
I mean, listen, I've seen Hayek. At one point he was looked at to really, be one of those players that, okay, he's gonna get there. He's gonna be good. But then he kind of plateaued, and he plateaued at a point where he was just okay as a fill-in, not even like a starter.
But like I get what you're saying, like because if they get rid of Hayek, right, he can be on an NHL roster, then he can technically, he can make his NHL salary. But the problem is a guy like Lundkvist, from just reading these articles and just getting the feel of the situation, he wants to play. So I'm saying, out of the starting 6 rotation, who would you move to call this kid up? And if not, maybe it is a good idea to deal him and get some prospects or some kind of like trade value back.
I definitely think it's a good idea to move him, because honestly, Zach Jones, he came onto the scene last season, and he's another one of those kids. As I told you before, you and I, many years ago, right? We were talking just regular hockey, and you asked me a question like, what prospects do the Rangers have, right? Or what prospects did they pick up in this draft? And this is like 3-4 years ago at this point. Nils Lundkvist was one of them. Zachary Jones was another. Brendan Snyder was another, right? And all these guys are still here, and they're all good players.
I mean, the great thing is, look how young that decor is. You know what I'm an idiot. I actually, for whatever reason, I was thinking of Brandon Smith, not Brandon Schneider. I don't know why. I think I'm just tired. But if you look at this decor, like Trouba being 28 too, that's relatively young for a D-man in the NHL. Like, you have a lot of young decor to build around here. Now, here in a few years, you might have to pay a little bit of money, right? But do I think a guy like Jones or Miller is going to get top end and RFA? No. But
Miller's going to get top end.
You think so?
I know so, bro. Listen, I sat down with Ron Greshner, ex-Ranger captain, right, defenseman himself, right? We sat down, and I kid you not, we were talking about that draft class, and Keandre Miller had just been drafted. We sat down, we talked, I think, for like an hour and a half to 2 hours just about Keandre Miller and his potential. The kid is going to be a stud. And even Ron Greshner said he can be a Bufflin-type player. The guy is just an electric personality, both on and off the ice. He's got skill, he's got size, and he's just starting to get the muscle. As you saw this past season, he's just knocking people over. Yeah, he's going to get top-end dollar no matter what.
Do you think he makes $6 million plus?
I say he makes at least $6 million.
Okay. All right. I mean, if you feel that strongly, I could definitely understand that. I think, then I think in that case, if that's true, I mean, you move Lundkvist and you try to either, I think you get a mixture package, in my opinion. You get future draft picks, right? So you have future assets, and then maybe get like something you might need. Like maybe, like you got Yaroslav Halak at your backup goalie, right now. It's an okay backup. Maybe you invest into another goaltender. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I've been doing some digging. I've been looking around, trying to figure out, who are the possible trades, what's happening, what's being talked about behind closed doors. A few things leak here and there. And one of the things that came to mind was trading Lundkvist for Christian Dvorak, because the Rangers, as you and I have spoken about before, their biggest Achilles heel is literally the center position, right? They're struggling there. They got a few centers on the offseason, but I feel like they still have a hole. It's solidified a little bit better, but hey, they want to get, from my understanding, I think Chris Drury is pushing to get Christian Dvorak and maybe 1 or 2 draft picks along for for Lundkvist, maybe even a prospect. Because they're going to have to dump, if they do give us Dvorak, we're going to have to dump another player into that mix just to be able to, retain that $4 mil contract that Dvorak does have.
But okay, so before I go into Dvorak, right, I'm looking at the depth chart here for center. I mean, you got Zibanejad, you have Trocheck, who you just signed. You have Hedl, who looked like he was coming into his own, right? And Grudro at a fourth line. Not wrong with that. I mean, do you really need him?
Well, let's take a look at everything, right? first of all, Goudreau brings experience and all this stuff, whatnot, right? But,
right, he can play all forward positions, so it's like
right,
he's not.
but why is our best face-off player our fourth line center? Hedo can play left wing, right? Obviously, Trocheck, he comes in, he brings in that face-off ability. We're not moving Mika, obviously, right? But if you bring in a Christian Dvorak, you can easily move Hedo to the left wing, right? And take Jadon Hunt, bring him down, and then let Guthier and Hunt fight for that fourth wing, left wing spot on the fourth line. But I think bringing in someone, he's 26. If you want to go into his history, his NHL, he's been pretty solid. He's around the 30s all the time.
Yeah, he's a 30-point scorer. He's like a third liner, like a second
Right.
third liner. Like
But-
he's more of a third liner.
But I want you to take a look. I don't know if you can
But
find
his
it.
face-off percentage. No, his face-off percentage are good, right?
No.
Like
not,
if you,
not only that. No. I'm not even talking about his face. Obviously, that has to be a given. That's something that we want, we need. But look at his career before the NHL, when he was in the OHL. This kid did some amazing things on the London Knights 2 years in a row.
okay, hold on. No, keep talking. I'm just gonna get it.
So on the London Knights, he moved there and he played in the OHL with the London Knights. And in 2014, 2015, he played 66 games, had 41 goals, 68 assists for 109 points with a plus minus of 33. You would think, oh, maybe that's a fluke. The following year, 2015, 2016, played less games, 59, but had 52 goals, 69 assists, 121 points, plus 56. And in the playoffs, he also produced. So what I'm saying is the possibility for him to get to a higher level is there. And as you see, the Rangers have a weird way of taking guys that maybe you look away from. You're like, they're okay. They don't have what we thought they were gonna have, and then bringing them into the spotlight and saying, "Here you go. Here's your chance," and it works. Look at Ryan Strome. Ryan Strome was nothing great before he got to the Rangers. He was just okay. He was sturdy. That was about it. Came in here with the system that we have in play. He's kind of a star, right?
The problem I have, right, and I think there's more to squeeze here. How old is he? 26. I mean, I think maybe this guy matures a little bit later. Maybe he can kind of become a 50-point scorer. The one word, juniors is juniors.
Yeah.
Right? Some guys produce at a stupid rate at the juniors level, and they never get anywhere near to that in the next level. They just
100%.
don't. Because it's a completely different game. You're playing against men, right? Where in juniors, if you're a little, like if you grow faster than another player, you'll have it. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, it's 109 points, 121 points. That's insane, right? That's phenomenal. But
Right.
I look at the kind of reality of it is 33 points, 37 points, 38 points, 31 points, 33 points. I mean, I think with Arizona, it's hard to judge because that team has been bad since its existence, essentially, besides one or two outliers. He goes to Montreal. That was a train wreck. Like in 56 games, 33 points isn't bad. So maybe he's turning the corner. Maybe he can become more of a 50-point guy.
I mean, but think about it.
I just don't think you're ever gonna see, like, he'll never be a superstar. I don't believe.
I say you got to think about it like this, right? The younger stuff on London Knights and all that shows the potential to get there, right?
Okay.
I'm not saying that's what he's going to do, right?
Right.
What I'm saying is the potential is there. He's been on train wreck of teams, right? Still produced 30-something points. Even with that being said, having a third line, fourth line center that can put up 30 points, that's what you want.
Yeah, no, I would definitely have to agree. That's something you definitely would want from a platoon. You need your secondary scoring from your second and third lines if you want to be a successful hockey team. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, let's get into it, right? On the possibility of Lundkvist getting traded for Dvorak and picked? Right, let's just do it on that. Thumbs up or thumb down? I'll give it a thumbs up just because the Rangers have so much depth on the defense score. Right? If this was any other team where you had someone even in their 30s, I'm like, shift that guy off, make a move. Like, that's what I would do. But, like, they're all young, so it's a weird situation to be. It's always good to have a wealth, right, of like, good quality on defense. But that's what I would do. I would try to I'll give that a thumbs up. What about you?
I'm definitely going to give it a thumbs up if they do make that trade. Even if they don't make that trade, I still give it a thumbs up because he wants to go somewhere where he can play his style of game. And let's be honest, with all the moves that Montreal made in the offseason, that's one of the teams that fits him. Another team that might fit him might even be Ottawa, but I don't think Ottawa's really looking to move into that younger player right now. Right?
No. Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, Ottawa's made a lot of moves to be successful right now.
Exactly. So I don't think they'd move into that category. But Montreal is that prime team that they got a lot of young talent. They had and they made moves, to bring some experience in, but they also know what they need. And Lundkvist fits exactly what they need.
I'm thinking Boston, man. That's what I'm thinking. But that's just, there's no bias, obviously.
God no. God, no.
So no bias, no bias. So let us know what you think of this possible trade. If Nils Lundkvist was to be traded for Dvorak and some picks, would you give this a thumbs up, meh, or a thumbs down? Let us know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And if there's any big trade news you want us to cover, feel free to hit us up. I'm Captain Paul. That's Fajardo. We're the Locker Room, and we will see you in the next episode. Peace.